Dude, what's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, man?
How
So,
are you?
no, how are you?
I am overwhelmed right now. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I don't know how to feel right now. It feels so weird. Just like
Yeah.
it's gonna take like a week to readjust, man. Like I said in that thing, it's like I was so looking forward to getting out, and then yesterday around like 2 o'clock, I just started having like anxiety, man. It was
Yeah.
weird. Like shit.
Say
Like
hi to everybody. They're
hey,
fucking everybody's here, bro.
what's up,
Like
Turtle Riders?
everybody's like ecstatic right now, man. It's crazy. I mean, it's been a whirlwind, dude. Like it's just been crazy. And today it was like I was saying, it was just all the people that messaged me, like, it doesn't look like he's gonna get out, and then it looks like he's gonna get out. New shirt?
Oh no! I've had this. I'm just saying,
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah.
I'm making a face like, who the hell
Yeah.
said I wasn't going to get out?
It's like,
Stop
well,
listening
you
to
know, the
morons on
trolls.
Twitter. Yeah,
It's
maybe don't
morons on
listen to
Twitter.
them.
Right. And then
That's not how bail revocation works. Bail revocation works like you revoke your bail for 60 days, which they did. You serve your 60 and you go home. That's how bail revocation works. It's not that. I mean, and I'll never be convicted of any of these crimes. Everybody knows that. So basically, I just did 60 days in jail for nothing, and that's irreparable harm. And you know, the Commonwealth better hope. They better hope that Brian Tully doesn't get arrested, because if Brian Tully is going to get arrested, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'll tell you that much right now. You understand this? Like, if they brought charges against me by some criminal cop who they should have known was a criminal cop working for the state of Massachusetts, brings charges against me to cover his own ass because I'm exposing him, and then he ends up getting arrested, right? Millionaire. Overnight, tomorrow, like, thank you, not a problem. I'm looking forward to that. But obviously, you can't get any civil suits unless you get the problem fixed. So I'm anxious to see what happens in the next couple of weeks, obviously, because the Karen Reed case is obviously now intertwined with mine. And, the fortunes of Karen Reed go the fortunes of me, I guess. But, I mean, these charges, we've all read the charging documents.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. I don't even know what these 2 new charges are today. Like, whatever, just add them to the pile at this point. It's just, this is what they do. Basically, they knew that I was going to have, every time you're about to have a good day, December 22nd, I had a good day in court. And then what do? They set it up the next day.
Yep.
Right. Then today, they know I'm getting out of jail. And what do? They add 2 more. They could have done this a week ago. It's nonsense. But anyway,
well, their plan is, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Aiden. You know, their plan was, and I think, you know, we've all talked about it out here, is keep him behind bars as long as Karen's case goes, and then once she's out, he's out. This was what it was. It was to silence the whole movement. Fucking movement wasn't going to stop. I mean,
no.
What did they think they were going to do? Of course,
they did get more brazen. All of a sudden, Chris Albert and Jennifer McCabe start showing up at court. All of a sudden, real quick, they got real brazen there. All of a sudden, and
I sat behind her in court the other day at Karen's hearing. Take your time.
Yeah,
be right back. Behind it. Yeah. There he is.
Hey,
what's up, dude?
Not much, man. Not much. But I forgot what we were talking about there. But hopefully everything's good.
You just said stacking the charges every time you get to go out.
Yeah. Whenever you get a W, they just keep adding on the charges. But I mean, none of this is going anywhere. This is all nonsense. Let's not forget that they put me in jail for 60 days because they know they'll never convict me, and they're like, well, let's get them in there for 60. But I'd rather not have gone to jail for 60 days. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really shitty thing. Not gonna lie. But I did it. So not a lot of people can say they went to jail before. I did it. I survived it. And, I learned a lot by being in there, man. And if they wanted to, like, stop me, they're not going to. I mean, obviously, I haven't broken the law to begin with. I mean, I ended up in jail over a freak thing. Like, let's be honest, like a freak fucking thing. Like, somebody made up a lie that they have no evidence of whatsoever. And, you know, that's all it takes to get your bail. I mean, and by the way, we also found out today, it looks like we've been told that they're going to be dropping that charge.
Yeah.
The A&P.
It's fucking crazy, dude, that like you see what's going on in this country right now, like especially like I'm just going to take it to like New York. You see all the cops and all the migrants that are beating up cops, right? And they're letting these people literally walk into court with no handcuffs. They go in front of a judge and they literally get released. Dude, they treated you like you were fucking like Hannibal Lecter, like you were shackled and leg chained and fucking thrown in.
They love that. They love that, man. They loved making me look like that. The shackles, the drama of it all. But
crazy.
You know, hey, you know, I mean, it is. I mean, I got so used to being in shackles, man. I spent 5 hours in the freaking jail cell in the shackles today. I heard you guys all outside. I was loving it. You know, I'm the only prisoner in that jail. I was like, dude, whenever people go to jail with me, they're like, what the fuck's going on out there? Is Kim Kardashian on trial here or some shit? Like, it's wild, man. It's wild. And because people know that I've done nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, I've done a lot of things right in this. And that's exactly why we're in this position to begin with, is because I've exposed bad people doing bad things. And basically, I'll explain. I'm going to write. Eventually, I am going. I had a.
You got to write a book. Yeah, I see.
Well, no. I had a blog published before I went away, just in case, explaining the whole thing. And I elected not to have that published while I was in jail, and we're going to add to that now. So you're going to when you guys listen to the January 8th restraining order hearing, you know you heard everything that happened there, but you that's a fraction of what happened, and you haven't seen the screenshots, and you haven't seen the insanity and the threats and the months and months of like straight up abuse, quite frankly, that was taking place in there that I just didn't walk away from, to be perfectly honest. And I did eventually, and then I was lured back there, and I'll explain that whole story, but I have evidence, man. When I heard all these lies in court today, I'm like, oh, we have screenshots to disprove that. We can disprove this, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's all coming from a person who lied about being pregnant for 2 months and pretended to have multiple abortions. They have zero credibility. Like that is zero credibility. And so, yeah, I look forward to proving that in court. Because the facts are on our side, and this is still the United States of America. You're still innocent until proven guilty, and certainly, you know, you can indict a ham sandwich, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to convict one, right? You got nothing on me. I mean, there's literally nothing. I've done nothing wrong, and I have to constantly remind myself of that. I've done nothing wrong. They're just trying to scare me. That's all this is.
It's crazy. She tried to fucking call you last night, bro. That's
I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I expected that. And I've obviously blocked by now. But I have no doubt I'll hear again. And it will be the same thing. I'm sure the fake numbers will come in. You guys haven't heard about the Jane account yet. I still have to talk about the Jane account. There's a lot of shit you guys don't know that has happened. Basically, take 3 of Ratchet's from my past. Krusty Panties, Chrissy Yakimovsky, and Jinduso. Combine them into one. That's what we have here. We got the DCF, the mothering skills of Krusty. You got the horror skills, basically. I mean the other skills of Jinduso, and then you have the sneaky manipulative skills of Yakimovsky, and in one person. Like, it's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. And I know a lot of people out there like, oh, Turtleboy, what were you thinking? You know, you're an idiot, you know, it's like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, I think I put that in one of my prison journals. Like, I'm flawed, right? Like I clearly have a weakness here. Right. And clearly I should, you know, I should examine that. Right. I should, and I'm going to a therapist about that. Whatever, you know, but it's like, I'm really good at being a journalist. I'm clearly not so good at choosing partners. Right. So like, that needs some work, but either way, I'm 100% not guilty, and more than anything, just being out here today, man, it's like I'll never go back there. Never. I will never go back there ever. I will just, because I mean, I'll never do anything to compromise that. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. I'll be celibate to the day I die. I don't care. Like, nothing.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Hey, I gotta tell you though, man, I think it takes a lot of balls to say, you know, what you just said is like, you know, I have some things to work on and some therapy, you know, like that's cool. And like you were saying today, like I had all these emotions and I was trying to hold it back. Dude, it's okay. You're a fucking human being, you know, is that tough outside, you know, that exterior and all that, you know, at the bottom line, we're all fucking human beings inside. And it's okay to admit that stuff. And I think it's cool that you're comfortable saying that. I mean, you've been through a lot in the last 60 days. It's insane. You know, it's completely insane. And I get it.
I only lost 8 pounds in there, by the way.
Yeah, but you look good, man. You look good.
Thanks, man. Well, it's like all you can do. I worked out. I mean, I'll never have a chance to work out like 3 hours a day, man. Like I documented my routine every morning. I would get up and I would run on that basketball court. The COs probably thought it was like Forrest Gump out there on the court, like, because there's not. I had to be by myself in prison. Every other prisoner gets to like hang out with other prisoners, which, I mean, I wasn't really looking forward to that much.
Yeah.
But at least there was someone to talk to,
right?
You know, but like I was stuck by myself because of my high profile nature. So they put me in, and I'll talk all about this on the show.
Yeah.
They put me in a goddamn, you know, medical unit with the nut jobs, and they just wouldn't move me out of there. And so I would do rec by myself every day, and I would, you know, run 7 or 8 miles a day, do a shitload of pull-ups, man. I could do a shitload of pull-ups. I'll tell you, I could do like 60. I do 3 sets, man. I could do over 60 now. It's pretty good.
Jesus,
and then at night, I would just, they have these cots there, and I would just do like 500-600 step-ups onto these cots for like 30-some minutes, and then do like 300 push-ups in various increments, whatever. And just fucking, that's all. I would shower twice a day, and that's all you could do is just keep your mind right, keep your body right, and get through it day by day. And that's what I did, and I made it through there. I felt by the end, it was like prison was I wanted to get the fuck out of there, don't get me wrong, but it was no big thing. Like I was just like getting through it day by day. And I knew that when I got out of here, it's going to be great things are going to come out of here, man. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, like the documentary's not canceled. Okay. So I'll explain that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Why? So a lot of people worried about that. There was basically, I was seeing if I told certain people certain things, if other people would repeat them, and they did. And so that was a test right there. So that was I've been in touch with the producers while I was in jail, and it's still 100% going forward. So looking forward to seeing what comes from that. What streaming service hopefully picks it up. No guarantee or anything like that, but you know, it's a hell of a story, man. They can't, especially when these indictments come. That's obviously going to make this a million times bigger when the indictments come, because I mean, it's unprecedented, man. District attorney potentially getting arrested.
Yeah.
At the very least, like the state police have to go down. Like this cannot continue. We cannot continue to have rogue criminals like Brian Tully and Yuri Buchanan and Michael Proctor and John Fanning. It's institutional, man, running that organization. It's a criminal organization at this point, and it needs to be dismantled and built from the ground up, because it's a corrupt organization, period. And those guys need to go down. Those guys need to go to jail. If those guys aren't arrested, we don't have justice in this country. It's not enough for Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe and whoever else to be arrested for killing John. If the people that covered this up, that were ultimately responsible for bringing justice for, you know, John O'Keefe and not framing an innocent woman in the process, if they're not held responsible, we don't have justice in this country, man. It's the ultimate betrayal. Like, those guys should be gone for decades, man. Excuse me. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I kind of lost my train of thought because I was really listening to like what you had to say. But yeah, I mean, look what Levy's done. I mean, he's ripping through the Mass State Police right now. We just found out I'm sure you heard about it when you were inside, the CDL license scam and all the scamming they were doing, you know, handing out false CDL licenses and and just peeling back other layers of what's going on inside the Mass State Police. And
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be more things that come.
That's the problem. I mean, they still, I mean, I've been exposing them for 6-7 years now, man. The Ali Bebo scandal, I broke that story in 2017. The Leah Genduso story in 2018, I broke that story. Like, actually, what's today? February 23rd? It was like February 19th was the day I broke that story. So it was like 6 years ago.
Wow.
I destroyed her career, but who gives a fuck about Leah Genduso's career?
Right.
What matters is the people who hired her and knew she was a drug dealer and knew she was a money launderer. They didn't lose shit. They didn't lose their jobs. They didn't lose their pensions. They just blamed it all on her. I mean, she's an easy patsy. She's a fucking moron, right? But she didn't hire herself. Somebody else hired her.
Right.
And that was never fixed, man. That was never fixed. There's an institutional rot where these people feel okay to just sell CDL licenses and shit. I mean, it's just like for like 12 grand, like you're throwing away everything for 12 grand. Yeah, like all those overtime scandals, all those people, it's just an institutional rot.
But it's fucking crazy, like to hand someone that's not even skilled enough to have a CDL, like you're giving someone the power to drive what, a fucking 8-ton machine down the road that literally could wipe out a bunch of people and kill them for a fucking driveway. You know what I mean? Like it's just insane.
Yeah, but I just have faith, man. I mean, the feds are not doing all this for nothing. They're not going to like spend a year and a half on this case and then just say, well, whatever. And by the way, so I go back on Twitter today for the first time, mistake. First thing that comes up is Yellow Cottage fails.
Yeah.
And he's got something about, okay, so I want to break down this lie. Aiden knows that Aiden was told by Tim Bradle that Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe. Guess who started that lie?
Well, it's probably someone from them. Kevin or Grant.
No, it's Lindsay. So
Lindsay.
we had a after court one day. Me, Richie, and Tim got coffee, and she was there, and she's the guma, so she stops by, and we're just sitting there, and Tim's telling the story, and he goes, "Oh, yeah," he goes, "There was this guy down in BMC the other day I was talking to, a real ham and egger. It's like a nothing special.
Yeah, yep.
A real ham and egger." And he tells me that, "Oh, wait till you see what's coming out of trial. There's more. They got proof that she hit him. They got proof." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I go ask him what the proof is, Tim." And so that's all. So she hears that story, and she's obviously retired. Yeah. So she's like, "Oh, this is proof that Tim told Aiden that Karen Reed did it." It's like, no, Tim told Aiden that some ham and egger, as he called him, at the courthouse said with zero evidence that Karen Reed did it. And he was just repeating what this guy said and making fun of him. And she knows it. So then she passes that information on to Krusty Panties.
Of course.
And now it's just, Kevin, Aiden knows. Stop it, Kevin. Stop it, Kevin.
You're an FBI informant, right?
Yeah. Where the fuck is that coming from? I'm not even talking to that guy. That guy's not a serious person,
No, he's a fucking tool.
It's just like, he's like, where was he before? Like, where was he throughout this
that's
whole
what
thing?
He said. And that's what I was saying. I don't know if you heard, earlier. He's just a type of person that's very unhappy with his life. And all that stuff that he's manifesting inside, he's pulling it out and he's projecting it on the people because he's not happy with himself. So people that are like that tend to do that. And then they want to go out and ruin it for everybody else.
Right, right. And, and by the way, the Mello thing, dude, Mello being sick, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break. He's in the hospital. Give me a break. People saw him in court earlier this week.
Yeah, someone said he was there. He was there. Yeah, I heard that.
We think he might be tapping out, man. This is too much for him. After he took that massive loss to Tim and just embarrassed himself and created all this extra work for himself, he's never done. I mean, he's a horrible lawyer. He spells office with 3 Fs. This guy's borderline incompetent. He was like the 12th string guy, and he's taking on a case that is huge. Yeah. And it's just like he's completely overmatched. And he's just like, how much he's getting paid, by the way?
How much?
We got the request on that. $400 an hour, up to $80,000 he can make on this on the taxpayer dime. So he's making he's going to bill the taxpayers $80,000 extra for this. That's what this dog and pony show is costing you all.
It's a
And
money, money grab, cash grab.
So it's just like, it's 80 grand, 80 freaking grand. So um, we'll see. I don't have. I guess so. The A and B charge in Dedham, it looks like they told us it's going away, which means like they basically used. So basically, they're admitting that didn't happen, and they're using that as a pretext to get another witness intimidation charge, because that's all they care about is the witness intimidation charges. And so they basically use this fake incident that obviously never happened, and and used it to and I'll tell that whole story, man. So I'm going to write a blog about it. It's going to take me a bit to write it and put it all together, and just show the whole truth about that. And I'm going to do one show about it, one pre-recorded live show, and then I will premiere it, and that will be it. She's not going to be a regular character on the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like she's nobody. She's nobody. So basically, that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. Because I'm sick of making ratchets famous, and like, yeah, okay, yeah. You congratulations. You rode the turtle a little bit, like big deal. Like you're not going to become. I'm so like these irrelevant people are not going to be part of this narrative. The story's too big. This is a story about corruption in the state police and the district attorney's office, not some rabid DCF moms, going wild.
When did you hear about the new chart, the wiretapping thing? Did you hear about that this morning, or was it like last minute?
When Tim came into my cell at 12:15.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I don't know a goddamn thing about it. I'm like, what is the charge? Oh, I don't even get it. They're saying what? But I'll tell you one thing, what is wiretapping is when you admit in writing, when you admit in a text message that you filmed somebody else having sex, and then you send them a video of that with audio. That's wiretapping.
Yep.
That's open and shut wiretapping. So we'll see what happens. And by the way, witness intimidation too. We had the crusty panties witness intimidation thing did not happen on February 12th, which is great because I want to be there for it. It's going to be March 11th. And there is, as we're going to see, overwhelming evidence of one individual using YouTube to directly tell me, do not come to court. If you come to court, I'm going to have men with me. If you're afraid of real men, you better not show up to court.
It's a threat.
And then I show up to court on January 6th, and what happens to me? I'm assaulted on tape on the courthouse steps by Andrew Johnson, and he is now also being criminally charged with assault and battery. That's like open and shut felony witness intimidation against not only me, but the people who live in my household, because she also came to my house on July 22nd and basically left a note for my family, knowing I wouldn't be home, telling them I'm going to post your address everywhere. And that would be the family member of a witness, a la, Lizzie Proctor. So you can't do that to a family member of a witness either. So that would be 2 charges of felony witness intimidation and another charge of trespassing, because in April I made a post tagging this individual and saying, you are not welcome on my property. And according to MGL section, whatever, you have now been officially told you cannot come on my property. If you do that and you come back to that person's property, you are trespassed, open and shut. So the law works both ways. And I intend, unlike, the charges against me, which are made up, come from YouTube videos out of context. And this is pretty open and shut. Like you said this, you did this, you documented yourself doing it. You took a picture of yourself posting this note on my property. You took a picture in my driveway.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Real quick, let me just pull these up real quick. Lily says hugs from Australia. Thank you for the $2.99 Aussie. I appreciate it. Pretty Insane says welcome home, Turtle Boy. Susanna with a 10. Thank you so much. Says group hug for Aiden. Paul in the chat. Paul, excellent work. You're always out there. Thank you for supporting Aiden. He says this is for the collective hug for Aiden from all of us. Thank you, Paul. And then I got a $49.99 super sticker. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate the support. Hey man, I just want to just real quick say to you, like I've had you on a live once. I've met you very briefly back in November. I shook your hand really quick. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate all of the opportunity that you've given me, and I appreciate all the trust that you've given me to I went to your team and said, "Hey, how can we keep this going? How can I step up and help out?" And just getting your kind of blessing on that to do a few lives and keep your channel active. And I don't know, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's
No,
been
thank you so much. Thank you so much for carrying on the torch while I was gone. I really appreciate that. And we should do this live show thing in person at
we're
your
doing
buddy's.
it. Yeah, I told
It,
you.
it can't be on a Saturday, correct?
No, can't do a
Okay,
Saturday.
that's fine.
But here's the
So,
thing: my buddy actually reached out to me today and said, "Are you guys going to do the live? So why don't we do this? You're going to be there on Monday. I'm going to be there on Monday. Let's talk about it. We'll get it going, and we're going to do this live stream."
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm down, man. I am looking forward to doing an in-person live. So if these people are, we would
Yep.
obviously like sell tickets to it.
Yep.
It would be like, a fundraiser for the defense fund. Cause my defense fund now, guys, it's like, that was an expensive trip to Medfield. I'm sorry. Cause that's a whole new thing that wasn't in the contract. And so, but we're also potentially using this as a way to get to the Supreme Court, man. And if we are appealing our review. We want the SJC to look at the whole enchilada at our whole case, right? And we want them to say this statute is unconstitutional, right? And if they pass on that, that would be our ticket to, potentially apply to the United States Supreme Court. And the United States Supreme Court is undefeated on speech issues, especially when it comes to the state of Massachusetts. Like, people might forget, in 2014, they used to have outside of like Planned Parenthoods and abortion centers, like those little circles, semicircles where protesters couldn't be on the outside of.
Right.
And Massachusetts, the SJC, said that that was constitutional to do that, right? But so they appealed, certain anti-abortion groups appealed that all the way to the Supreme Court in 2014. And in a 9-0, that includes Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whoever the hell, what other liberals were on the court at the time, 9-0. They said that those buffer zones violate free speech laws, like they violate the First Amendment. So the United States Supreme Court is bipartisan when it comes to the First Amendment. They are undefeated with standing up for it, even when this state seems to not understand that. And so, this isn't some pipe dream, man. We are going to get this statute overturned. This statute is blatantly unconstitutional. And in order, like Bill Gens, the lawyer for the Canton Nine, he's been wanting to get a bite of this for quite some time. Lawyers have realized how unconstitutional this law is for quite some time, but they needed some power-hungry state institution to just start weaponizing it. And that's exactly what they've done in Canton. They did it with me. They got a taste of it. And then they went after the Canton Nine, who, by the way, still haven't been charged. It's been almost 2 months. So, I mean, how serious is this if they haven't been charged yet? They went after Janelle, right? And they're going to go after other people. And they've created a chilling effect where people can't stand on a sidewalk in the middle of town holding a sign that says justice. That's witness intimidation. So we needed somebody like Ken Mello to just come along and show how absurd and ridiculous this is. And if the SJC is not going to fix it, then we're going to have to go to the Supreme Court and they're going to fix it. Somebody's going to fix this law. So we're not taking this, I agree that physical threats to keep people from testifying should be illegal. That's what witness intimidation is. What you saw Krusty Panties do to me was witness intimidation. Emotional threats? Emotional harm? What is emotional harm? Anybody who's sad is experiencing emotional harm. That's, if you read the charging documents against me, when they interview Colin Albert, he's like, he made me sad. They knew all the right things to say. Well, that's emotional harm. He's sad. Okay. But at no point was he ever in physical harm, right? There was no threat at no point was I ever attempting to say, you need to change the the things that you're testifying. I've never once said that to anyone. I don't want to change. I don't care what people testify. I just think the people should tell the truth. And when you're not
Right.
telling the truth, you should get called out for it. And you're allowed
Yeah.
to do that. You're allowed to call people out who are lying, whether or not they're quote unquote witnesses, period.
I agree, dude. I totally agree. And I think it's awesome. You're going to go all the way with the law. And again, if there's any way that I can help in that, spread the platform, just give me the information. We'll talk about it. Just going back really quick, I want to circle back to what we talked about so people know. So Aiden and I have been hashing around an idea of doing a live show at a venue. And essentially, he would just take the stage and do his live. We've talked about selling like physical tickets for an actual like memento that you can take home from the show. We talked about doing some limited posters, some things that he can sign. So we're gonna get this together in the next couple of weeks, and you guys will all know about it soon.
Yeah, man, I've been wanting to do like a live show like that in person for a while, and I think now is definitely the time. We could sell tickets to it, have a great event. Tuesday's fine. Obviously Saturday's better, but maybe we could do another one on Saturday at another venue. Who knows?
Of course.
We could do these once a month or some shit as fundraisers for the legal defense. And
yeah,
I think it would be really cool to have like a live audience in front of me, and then instead of like taking questions on thing, we could have microphones set up.
Yep.
People come up and ask the questions, something like that.
So we're gonna plan. I plan to do is when we do the stream, we'll set up so there's a live camera at the audience so everybody can see that, because you have the ability to do that on StreamYard. Yes. We'll get a microphone set up. My buddy has his own club. We're gonna do it his club. We're gonna have a DJ. We're gonna have a cocktail hour so everybody can come in, loosen up a little bit, and then we'll figure out all the.
I'd like to socialize with people beforehand.
Yeah.
So what we could do would be 9 to like 11 the show, and then or 8 to 10 the show, and then 6 to 10 cocktail hour or something like that, meet and greet, something like that.
Yeah. And we'll have a DJ come in, and it would be fun. It'll be a really good time. So.
Oh, I'm looking forward to something like that, man. That would be dope. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll do it. We'll get it done.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be home, man.
How's your kids? Were they surprised?
Yeah, I had my dad videotape me walking in. I'm not sharing it or anything like that.
Yeah, that's your moment. Yeah.
And so I walked in my door. I did not tell them that I was coming home, and my son just was shocked and ran at me, and he's like, "Dad." Awesome. And then, my daughter was upstairs and went upstairs, and she had a similar reaction. And it's just, it's shocking, man. 60 days without seeing your dad. It's a lot. And that's what's fucked up about this is they didn't just punish me. You punish kids. Like, who does that? Who wants to hurt? Because you don't like me, you're going to hurt my kids? Like, you act like they don't need their father. Like, they don't need okay, you guys don't like me. You don't like the things I'm saying. Okay, you don't think the kids need their dad? Like, what's wrong? Who wants to hurt children like that? Like, what's wrong? How depraved are you if you want to hurt little kids who did nothing wrong and are obviously, confused? So they obviously don't know where I was or anything like that. I just told them I was away for work. And I came home in a suit, so you look sharp at least. But one day I will tell them, but they're just too young right now, man, to understand like that. Wait, police are the bad guys? Like, they don't understand any of this. So like, I'm not going to get into that. And it's scary, man. I don't want to scare them. I don't want them to think like all police are bad and that big bad policeman out there are just trying to lock your daddies up for doing nothing wrong. I don't want to create that. So they're young, they're innocent. We should protect their innocence. But man, it was hard. That was easily the hardest part about this is separation from them. So I am happy that I'm back in their lives. And I can't, like, tomorrow I get the whole day with them, taking my son to a birthday party, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I do my show at night, man. It's back, man. The show is gonna be dope tomorrow night. It's gonna be.
I want 10,000 fucking people in there, bro.
How cool would that be, man?
I want 10,000 fucking eyes on you.
Yeah.
So
that would be cool. It's like like Tim Pool every Timcast. He gets about
30,000.
30,000. If we got like 10, 15,000, it'd be like almost half his audience. Like, and he's obviously one of the biggest, guys on YouTube who does this. I was on a show last year. I mean, it was just wild what he has built there. And I feel like we're building something similar over here at Turtleboy, and I mean, I went to jail for this, man. That's street cred. Like, not a lot of journalists can say they went to jail. Like, I spoke to
I'm
James
working
O'Keefe
on
in jail.
I'm working on putting a studio together. I'm gonna end up renting a spot out and building out a studio and just be able to have like live guests come in and stuff like that. So that's my plan. I want LTL to be like a headquarters and just anybody can come in and just talk, you know, and that's what I want to do here in the great state of Massachusetts. But I'm thinking about getting like I'm thinking about putting a studio together and doing that and getting this out of my bedroom and actually into a real place. So
yeah, man. I mean, so I'm going to be getting my own spot too, obviously, and so I'll have everything set up there. And you know, life for me is going to continue. I'll still get the kids on and off the bus every day. I'll still be in their life. But you know, it's time to start a new chapter of my life. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what happens. But it's going to be slow. It's like it's going to take like a week for me to feel normal. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells out here. You know, all the people with all the guns are looking to jam me up on something, as we saw today, adding 2 more bullshit charges. But all I'm going to do is just keep doing my job, keep effectively reporting on the Karen Reed case, keep protesting, keep being an activist. It's all legal. You know, everything I've done is legal. There's no stay away orders. I'm looking forward to just, you know, I'll tell you, I'll never go back there. I will never go back there ever. I will never do anything to go back there. And like I said, and that does mean, like I said earlier, it's going to be celibate. Like, but you know what I mean by that. Like, no more crazy. Yeah. So, no,
yeah, yes. Let's make some better choices and stay away from the crazies.
They're
we need you out here, man.
They're good at hiding. They don't come with the sign that says I'm crazy, you know, unfortunately. And then when you're in it, and then it's like Tiger Woods, man. That guy ruined his freaking life over pussy. Like he did. Like he was like the greatest golfer in the world. Remember Tiger had like a meltdown?
Yep.
Pussy? Yeah. Like it was crazy. And and then there was and then he won the Masters in 2019. So, you know, that's going to be me. I'm Tiger Woods 2019. I'm back. We're going. I was a little down there, but we'll be back.
I love it. Hey, go get some rest.
All right, man.
I'm going to drop you a link for tomorrow. You know, try to adjust. We'll see you back here 9 p.m. I appreciate you jumping on real quick.
Yes, man. Thanks for having me, man.
No, fuck that. You can come on anytime you want. Don't fucking say thanks for having me on. You fucking knew I was going to bring you up.
One of those things you say.
Yeah, of course. And we're going to talk on Monday. We'll talk on Monday. I'll see you out there.
Sounds good, brother.
That is Turtle Boy right there. Aiden Carney, fucking free man, walked out of court today, had the biggest celebration and good stuff. And I'll drop the link there for you guys. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want every freaking person in this chat, all eyes on that stream, and let's blow that motherfucker off the roof over there. So that was great. Thank you, Aiden. I appreciate you jumping on, man. I really, really do appreciate that. And him and I will talk on Monday, and we'll get that live show put together. We've been talking about it for a while, and now we're gonna make it happen.